So welcome to your breath flow expansion practice. We are going to get into some of the deep stretches and that kind of stuff, but we're also going to flow. We're gonna move. As you know, I really attempt to fit everything in, which isn't always possible. But I truly feel like for balance, we need just a little bit of everything. We need to hold and be still. We also need to move and breathe and find fluidity. But when we start to move, that doesn't mean that your breath gets quick and it doesn't mean that it gets shorter. You just kind of figure out how to match your breath to your movement while still making sure that your inhale is full and complete and that the exhale matches, right? So you kind of figure that out as you go and as your practice deepens, right? You figure out what works for you. So if you would like to use my playlist, it's Sea Lion Run, go ahead and get it started. And since I am going to aim for something that's closer to like 45, 50 minutes, you might end up having to bump down to the bottom song for Shavasana, which is today. So big toes come to touch. Bring your knees out to the side edges of your mat. And bring your chest down towards the earth. And let's just take a moment to drop in. I don't know how everyone else's week has been. It's been a little, I don't even know. I feel like all over the place over here. So, like emotionally, also just like scheduling, just all the things. So, let's take a minute and step out of whatever it has felt like for you since the last time we met. And you can walk your arms forward a little bit more if you'd like, really feeling this expansion and opening, lengthening through your side body. And then wherever you are in your breath cycle, open your mouth and exhale completely. Let it all out. And then inhale through your nose. Allow for your belly to press down kind of in towards your thigh. You might feel the backside of your heart space rise. And then exhale, let it go. Let's do that again. Inhale. And exhale. Now on your inhale, walk your hands forward. And as you exhale, walk your fingertips over towards the left so you start to get a stretch through your right side body. And feel the opening through your right side waist. Your face is soft, it's relaxed, you're still breathing. If at any point being in child's pose is uncomfortable, because that can happen, it's a lot of flexion on your feet and on the knees. You can always do this from all fours, stacking your hips over your knees like a box pose and just walking your hands from side to side. On your next inhale, walk your hands through center, get a little bit longer, and then as you exhale, you walk your hands all the way over to the right. It's just kind of thumb next to thumb. And breathing deeply into your left side body. And as you breathe in, you know you're breathing in. And as you breathe out, you know you're breathing out. And then let's take another inhale, walk it through center. And then exhale, press up into all fours. So into your box pose, stack your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists, your knees come underneath your hips. And then spread your fingers out wide. Inhale, drape a soft belly down, lift your chin, lift your tail, press your heart forward. And then exhale, reverse the movement. Dome out your upper back, navel to your spine, tuck your chin, open out your upper back. And then inhale, roll back through, take your belly down, sway to your low back. So you're lifting your tailbone and pulling the heel of your palms back. And then exhale to reverse it. Navel to spine. Separate your shoulder blades as much as you can. And then we inhale, come back through, belly down. And exhale, belly up. Now you're more than welcome to stay right here or start to sway it around, moving into hip circles. And if you are circling out at some point, you make sure to switch and go in the opposite direction so that you even everything out. Good. All right, come right back in through center, stacking everything up. On your inhale, float your right arm up to the sky. Stack your shoulders, stack your clavicles. And then exhale, thread the needle. Right arm underneath the left, come down to your right ear, your temple, your shoulder. You can reach your left arm forward. Just breathe here. And then you have the option to rotate your left armpit towards your right elbow crease, or you could wrap your left forearm around the small of your back in a half bind. So whatever feels most appropriate in your body today. Sometimes I do a little bit of both. And then slide your left hand back in front of your face. Inhale to reach your right arm high. And exhale, bring your right palm down. Inhale, left arm to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle, left arm underneath the right. Come down onto your ear, your temple, your shoulder. Your right arm reaches forward. You can rotate your armpit towards your left your left elbow if you'd like. You can also wrap your right forearm around the small of your back in a half bind. Wherever it is, you're breathing deeply. And then slide your right palm back in front of your face. Inhale, left arm reaches to the sky. And exhale, bring your left hand down to the ground. Now curl up your toes. Take an inhale. On the exhale, lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog, creating an inverted letter V shape with your body. Let your heels get heavy. And then no matter how much you have to bend your knees, you can even let your heels lift. But really try to take your tailbone up and back. So you're creating a hinge at your hips and you press your chest in towards your thighs. Let your head hang. And then you can pedal out your feet if you want. And then inhale, take a soft bend to your knees, gaze forward. Exhale as many steps as you need. Walk your feet to your hands. You're at the top of your mat. Leave your feet about hip width distance apart. Inhale, fingertips towards your shins. Tabletop your back. Crown forward, tail back, belly up. And then exhale, ragdoll. Bend into your knees. Let your hands catch opposite elbows if it feels all right. And let your head hang completely. And then you can just be still feeling the elongation of your spine as your head hangs down, kind of that decompression. But if you want a little bit of movement, you can sway side to side with your torso. Just notice how that changes the way you distribute the weight in your feet. And press down into all four corners so that your weight has the intention of staying even throughout both feet. And then let your hands come down. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold it down again. And then inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms out and up. And exhale, elbows back and down, open up through your chest. Relax your shoulders back and down. And then inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, your left arm down, and your right arm reaches up and over. Stretch through your right side body. And then inhale, both arms up. Get as long as you can. Exhale, right arm down, left arm reaches up and over. Inhale, both arms to the sky. One more time. Exhale, elbows back and down. This time, inhale, bind up your hands. Padahasta, interlace your fingers at the base of your spine. Puff up your chest. And then on the exhale, stick your bottom back. Take your chest to your thighs. Drop your head down and work your fist up and over. So you're opening through your shoulders. Inhale here. And then exhale, let your hands come down to the ground. Inhale to lengthen your spine. And then exhale, step your left foot back. Soften your left knee down to the ground. And then firm up your inner thighs before you come up. But inhale, Salamba Anjaneyasana. Bring your shoulders up over your hips, your arms up over your head. So it's a supported crescent lunge. Your right knee is a 90-degree bend. Left hip to knee is diagonal. Pit of your belly draws in and up. Take an inhale, lengthen, get a little bit longer. And then exhale, bring your hands down. Shift your hips back and straighten through your right leg. Flex your toes back towards your shin. Perfect, y'all. And then breathe deeply into the belly of your right hamstring. So ideally, that's where you're feeling all of this. And then you inhale, walk it back forward. Curl up your left toes, lift your left knee. Your left palm stays rooted. And then float your right arm up to the sky. Stack your shoulders, stack your joints. Gaze to your right fingertips. Breathing here, take another inhale. Option to exhale, wrap your right forearm around the small of your back in a half bind and just open up through your chest a little bit more. Inhale, float your right arm back up. Exhale, bring your right hand to the inside of your right foot. Soften your left knee down again. Stay right here in your low lizard. Pull your heart forward. Let your pelvis soften down and forward. And then perhaps you turn your right toes out. You splay your right knee open. Just be picky and be intentional about what it is you're doing. So if you take this kind of crooked monkey variation without reaching the hand back yet, so really a winged dragon, make sure it's what you need and not just what you always do, right? Otherwise, traditionally, the toes are forward, the knee is hugging in towards your upper arm bone. Now, wherever you went, come back to a low lunge. So heel toe your right foot towards the center of your mat. Curl up your left toes. Lift your left knee. Take your inhale. Exhale, step your right foot back and then lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog and breathe. Chest towards your thighs. Let your head hang. And then inhale, soft bend to your knees. Gaze forward. Exhale, walk your feet to your hands. I gotta get myself together. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold yourself down. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms out and up. Exhale, elbows back and down, open through your chest. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, left arm down, right arm reaches up and over. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms up, look up. Exhale, right arm down, left arm over. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, elbows back and down. Bind up your hands at the small of your back. Inhale, puff up your chest. Exhale, forward fold with your shoulder opener. Let your head hang. Work your fist up and over. Inhale, hands to the ground. Tabletop your back. And exhale, hands down. Step your right foot back and bring your right knee down to the ground. Take your time. Inhale, shoulders over your hips, arms up over your head. Stay for the exhale. Now you have the option with your back foot to either curl your toes up underneath you or to take the top of your foot flat. What do you need, right? Most of the time I curl my toes up, it gives me more balance. Sometimes I need to stretch the tops of my feet, my ankles, and I take my foot flat. And it also requires a little bit more balance from me to do that. So whatever you need, inhale, get longer. Exhale, bring your hands down, shift your hips back, Ardha Hanumanasana, your half split. Now, when I say straighten your left leg, it doesn't mean that your left leg is gonna go stick straight. It's just the action that we're taking of reducing the bend in your left knee as you spin your navel towards your left thigh bone so that the left hip pulls back, right hip forward. So as I make those kinds of adjustments, I can feel a difference in my low back, right? So feel it out for yourself and breathe as deeply and evenly as you can. And it's okay if your hands are on blocks and your left knee is really bent, right? None of this has to be perfect, y'all. Now on your next inhale, walk yourself forward. Exhale, curl up your right toes, lift your right knee. Your right hand stays down on the ground or on your block, and then inhale, your left arm comes up to the sky. Gaze follows your left hand, watch your right hip. If it's dipping down like mine, I want you to pull it up by your right side waist, your obliques. The twist is not in the hips, it's not in the low back, it's in your thoracic spine. On your next exhale, wrap your left forearm maybe around your small of your back and open up your chest just a little bit more. Inhale, left arm comes to the sky. Exhale, left hand to the inside of your left foot and soften your right knee down. We start off right here, hugging your left knee in towards your tricep, your upper arm bone. And then you do have the option to turn your left toes slightly out to roll to the outer edge of your foot and splay your knee open. I'm moving into that because I ran 3 miles before teaching this and my legs are tight, right? And so I actually truly need to get into the groin, the inner thigh, all that kind of stuff. If you took any variations, come back to square to 12 o'clock, and then heel toe your left foot to the center of your mat. Curl up your right toes, lift your right knee, step your left foot back, and then lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Pedal it out, breathe, and let your head hang. And then Surya Namaskar A, so Sun Salutation A. Inhale, soft bend to your knees, gaze forward. Exhale, walk your feet to the top of your mat. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale to fold yourself down. Inhale, root to rise, come all the way to standing. And then exhale, bring your hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra, thumbs to your sternum. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, hinge your hips, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Now I'm going to knees, chest, chin just because it's a more gentle practice for me today. If you want chaturanga, feel free to take it. On the exhale, step your feet back, knees down to the ground, press your bottom up. Chest drops in between your thumbs, chin in front of your fingertips, gaze forward. You're like a little inchworm. And then you inhale onto your pelvis, your pubic bone, untuck your toes, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. Exhale, press back to child's pose just for a breath. So it's a little spin on a traditional sun salutation because we're not taking chaturanga and we're taking rest in child's pose instead of downward facing dog, unless you're doing something different for yourself. Inhale, press up all fours. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, soft bend to your knees. Take your gaze forward. Exhale as many or as few steps as you need, feet to your hands. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, fold yourself down. Inhale, all the way to standing, arms out and up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Inhale, float your arms out and up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale, tabletop your back. Exhale, hands down, step your feet back. Knees to the ground. Inhale, lift your bottom. Exhale, chest, chin to the earth, gaze forward. Inhale, slide it through to flat. Untuck your toes. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest, and exhale, hips to your heels. Last one, inhale, come forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, soft bend to your knees, gaze forward. Exhale, take your feet all the way to the top of your mat. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, dump your head down. Inhale, root to rise. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms out and reach. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, high plank. Inhale, knees down, bottoms high. Exhale, chest, chin to the ground, gaze forward. Inhale all the way to flat. Peel your chest off of the mat. And then exhale, take your hips to your heels. Now, option, if you're not feeling it, you're just going to stay right here in your child's pose. If you would like to join me in Anahata Asana in your puppy pose, inhale, press up into all fours. Keep your hips stacked right over your knees so they don't shift forward or back. And then on your exhale, start to walk your hands forward and bring your chest to the ground. Now, first krama might even be just here with your forearms down, right? If you can't come all the way down just yet, don't force it. It doesn't matter, y'all, right? This is perfect. If it feels okay to walk the hands forward, next krama, forehead comes down, right? It's going to deepen the bend that's happening in your upper back. From there, if you feel comfortable here, it fits like a glove. Perhaps your chin comes to the ground and you gaze forward. And you breathe. Maybe like 3 more breaths. Some of you, your chest may come all the way down to the ground. That's not quite me. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, shift your hips back towards your heels. Let your torso rest on your thighs. Your forehead comes down to the ground. And then let's inhale, roll back up into all fours. And then exhale, curl your toes up, lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. All right, so inhale, take a soft bend to your knees, gaze forward. Exhale, walk your feet to your hands. You're at the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold it down. Now inhale, bend your knees, sit your hips back and down, reach your arms high. So Utkatasana, your chair pose. And you're breathing here, maybe gaze up. Keep the pit of your belly pulled in and up, and then you really stick your bottom back and down so that when you gaze down, you could see your toes out in front of your knees. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, open arm twist, left arm forward, right arm back. Breathe. And then inhale, right hand reaches down, forward, and up. And then exhale, open arm twist to the left, right arm forward, left arm back. Breathe here. And then your left hand comes down, reaches back, forward, and up. And then exhale, forward fold. Chest to your thighs, let your head go. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, bring your hands down, step your feet back, and then lower your knees to the earth. And then come down onto your forearms, your elbows, and let your pelvis come down to the earth. So your shoulders are on top of your elbows, and ideally your arms look like a number 11. Pin your shoulder blades to your upper back. This is back body strengthening and front body stretching. So your elbows create traction coming back towards your hip joints. And it's called Sphinx pose. So pull your heart forward. If this creates any discomfort in your low back, you either don't do it at all, or take your focus to the top of your pubic bone, pull it up towards your navel. Think of lengthening your low back. Breathe, relax your jaw. Take one more inhale. On the exhale, take your elbows out and bring your forehead down. All right, so from here, your left hand can come underneath your left shoulder for support if you need it. Bend your right knee and reach your right hand back and catch your foot. Only focusing on the quad stretch on the right leg, but try to keep your frontal hip bones down on the ground. They're even, they're square and level. You could also use a strap here. But breathe into your right quadricep, opening up. Take one more inhale here. And then it's a very soft release as you exhale, let your foot come down. And then you could take your right hand just outside your shoulder, your chest, press your palm down, and then bend your left knee, reach your left hand back, with or without a strap if you need it, and draw your heel in towards your glutes. Stretch out your left quad, breathe. And it's a very soft release. Your left foot comes down, hands outside of your chest. Pull your shoulders back, lift your chest. Exhale, press your hips towards a quick child's pose. It's just a reset. And then inhale up into your box pose. Exhale, Ardha Mukha Svanasana, your downward facing dog. Hips high, heart low. All right, inhale, float your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, bend your right knee, stack your hip, open it up. Watch your right shoulder if it tries to pop open, and then circle out your knee to get into your hip. Go in both directions. And then you inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, step your right foot all the way through. And I'm going to flip around so I'm not sticking my bottom heel in a second. Left heel goes flat. Inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. So warrior one. Stay for the exhale. Inhale to reach your fingertips higher. And then exhale, elbows back and down, open up through your chest. Now inhale, bind up your hands, interlace your fingers. You have the option to stay right here, or exhale, hinge at your right hip, take the crown of your head towards the inner arch of your right foot. But notice if your right hip starts to stick out, and pull it back and let your head hang. Now inhale, warrior one, shoulders over your hips, arms up over your head. Exhale, open this up, warrior two. Gaze to your right fingertips and fix up your feet. So right heel, left inner arch, more or less. Inhale, flip your right palm, reverse your warrior. Exhale, right hand reaches forward and down, left arm reaches up and over. Now stay right here for your inhale. And then exhale, wrap your left forearm around the small of your back in a half bind. Breathing here as you open up through your chest. Build heat in the lower extremities. Inhale right here. And then exhale, straighten your right leg. So you're in a half bound triangle. Torso still stacks on top of your right thigh. And perhaps you gaze up towards the ceiling, but just above you, not behind you. Now inhale here. On the exhale, turn your right toes towards the long edge of your mat and dump your head down. Now your left forearm is around the small of your back. I want you to take right hand over to your left ankle. So you're in a twisted variation of your Prasarita Padottanasana. Breathe. Inhale here. Exhale, let it all go. Drape your hands back down to the ground. Roll out your shoulders. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, walk yourself to the top of your mat. Hands to the inside of your right foot. Inhale, bend into your right knee. Exhale, left knee comes down. Stay right here. Crooked monkey if you want it. Roll to the outer edge of your right foot. You could also come down to your left forearm. Bend your left knee. Your right hand reaches back, catches your left foot. Maybe you gaze over your right shoulder. Perfect, y'all. Soft release. Let your left toes come back down to the ground. Your right hand comes back to the inside of your right foot. Now lift your right toes so they face back forward. And then heel toe your right foot all the way over, coming into Ekapada Raja Kapotasana, your half pigeon. Untuck your left toes, pull your left hip forward, and then inhale to pull your chest forward. Exhale to melt down. Now you do have the option to take this on your back. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. You're here for about 5 to 7 breaths. So I want you to really melt into this. Relax your upper body and let it feel heavy. Now slowly slide your hands back underneath your shoulders so that you can inhale, lift your chest, curl up your back toes, lift your back knee, and then float your right leg up to the sky, bend your right knee, stack it, circle it out, and then bring your right foot to the floor for downward facing dog. And then inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, bend your left knee, stack it, open it up. You can circle it out, be still, whatever works. And then inhale, left leg lengthen. Exhale, step your left foot through. Your right heel goes flat. Inhale, your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. Stay for the exhale. Warrior one. Inhale, lengthen here. Exhale, elbows back and down. Inhale, bind up your hands. Interlace your fingers. Broaden through your collarbones. And then exhale, you can hinge forward. Take the crown of your head down. Work your fist up and over. Tuck your chin. Breathe. And then you really press down into the big toe ball mound of your left foot and inhale, shoulders over your hips, arms up over your head. Exhale, open it up. Warrior two. Fix up the feet, heel to arch alignment. Drop it down, bellies in. Inhale, flip your left palm, reverse your warrior. Exhale, left hand reaches forward and down, right arm comes up and over. Your left knee is a 90-degree bend. When you're ready, wrap your right forearm around the small of your back, but continue to open your chest up. And then slightly tuck your left glute under, like you're sending your left sit bone towards your right heel or inner arch. Now take an inhale. Exhale, half bound triangle, straighten through your left leg. It's all good if your left fingertips come up a lot, right? You're still breathing and your face is soft. Take an inhale. Exhale, turn your left toes towards the long edge of your mat and drop your torso down. Let your left hand reach over, find your right ankle, but watch your hips. And then perhaps you bend your left elbow, rotate your right shoulder on top of the left, gaze up, breathe. Let your head hang. One more inhale. Exhale, let it go. Hands down, shake it out. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, walk yourself to the top of your mat. Hands to the inside of your left leg. Bend into your right knee. Come down into your low lizard. Options are to stay here, take any variation. I'm going to come down to my right forearm, spin my left toes out, splay my left knee open, I'm going to bend my right knee and reach my left hand back, opening up here. All right. So very soft release of your right foot back down to the floor. Your hands come underneath their respective shoulders. And then heel toe your left foot to center and then all the way over to the right for your half pigeon. Option to come into reclined if you prefer, but let your right hip wrap forward if you're in traditional, and your left shin can be anywhere from parallel to the top of your mat or your heel all the way into your pelvis, right? Pull your heart forward and then just melt down. Again, you're here for about 5 or 7 breaths. Your arms can reach forward, out, back, but breathe and soften into this. All right, slide your hands back underneath your shoulders. Inhale to lift your chest. Curl up your right toes, lift your right knee, and then float your left leg up and back. And you can circle it out, whatever. Left foot comes down to the ground. Inhale, come into a high plank. And however you want to get there, exhale all the way down to your belly. Now I'm going to give you options here, which means you can skip it all together. If you would like to take just one hand to an ankle at a time, that's also cool too. If you want to join me in a bow pose, feel free to do so. Internally rotate your upper arm bones. I bend, flex my feet, and then pull the pit of your belly in, kick your feet into your hands, try to keep your thighs down, and lift your chest. Gaze is just going to go to the top of your mat and breathe. And at some point, your knees might start to lift up. It's okay. But ideally, we're trying to keep them down. And you breathe. And then when you're ready, release. Forehead down, feet to the ground. Take whichever ear feels most comfortable to you to the earth. And then bend your knees, windshield wiper your feet. And then take the other ear down, gaze in the opposite direction. And then back to center, drop your feet to the ground, palms underneath your shoulders. Press your palms down, peel yourself up, and exhale to a child's pose. Now inhale, come back into all fours. Let's just find a seated position, so whatever feels best to get there. You're coming to your back, right? So scoot it forward. Bend your knees. Take a C curve to your spine. Roll down one vertebra at a time. And then bring your knees in towards your chest for a moment. Maybe even a happy baby if it feels good. And then your knees come back to a 90-degree bend. Open your arms out like a T. Inhale here. Exhale, drop your knees over to the right. Turn your gaze to the left. Now, once you're there, let your shoulders get heavy. And you have this option to stay right here. If it feels all right, peace fingers of your right hand loop around your left big toe, and you lengthen your left leg. If that fits like a glove, you could work your right heel towards your right glute. You might have to lift your left shoulder to get your left peace fingers to find your right big toe, but then your left shoulder comes back down, and then you gaze over to the left. And slowly release, come through center. Hug your knees in for a moment, then right back to that 90-degree bend, arms out like a T. Exhale, drop your knees to the left, turn your face to the right. Right shoulder stays rooted, and then perhaps left peace fingers to your right big toe. You extend. And then if it feels all right, you work your left heel towards your glute. You might have to lift your right shoulder for a second to catch your big toe, but then your right shoulder should come right back down. And you breathe. And if it doesn't, skip it, right? It's not worth it. The extra is only worth it if it feels better. And then it's a soft release. Inhale, come through center, let your low back find the mat. Exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest. Inhale here. Exhale, bring your forehead up to your knees. Wrap your arms around your shins. Take that last breath. And then exhale, extend your feet forward. Let your feet hang comfortably open. Your arms come down by the side body, or you can just sprawl out. If there's anything else you need to take Shavasana and feel comfortable and satisfied and content, please take whatever shapes, whatever poses you need to close down. If you're ready, meet me here and completely release. Let everything go and rest. Now, if what you need is to be here longer, please tune me out and stay right where you are. Otherwise, begin to deepen your breath, to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And on the inhale, float your arms up overhead. Find a full body stretch. And on the exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shin. And then you'll roll over to the right, passing through your fetal position, giving yourself that brief pause, that moment, reminding yourself that your body is a safe place. And that after all of that we just did, your body is a little bit new, just a tiny bit shifted and changed. So press up, meet me in Sukhasana, your comfortable cross-legged sit whenever you're ready. Hands on your knees or in your lap, or if you would like to seal them in Anjali Mudra, hands at heart centers. We take that final moment, that pause, to be grateful for our bodies, for what they do for us today, to be hopeful for tomorrow. I appreciate you all for being here whenever it is that you take this practice. I see you, I honor you, I'm grateful for you, and namaste.